Hey there, it's V from Movies Hunter, and let me tell you, I've got a real doozy for you today. I'm gonna take you on a journey back to 2016 to experience the drama-filled, tear-jerking, lovesick movie Down by Love. It's the year 2010, and Anna Amari is getting the tour of the finest joint in town, the women's prison in Versailles. She is greeted by a guard who's got all the charm of a wet sock and taken to her cell. Her cellmates then show up. They're a lively bunch, I tell you. They tell Anna about the event of the century, the fashion show happening over the weekend, and guess what? Anna has got the privilege of cooking for the guests. Just then, in walks the governor of the prison, Gene Firmino. He has got all the charisma of a mop, and he tells Anna to keep a low profile. He then goes on to reject a fellow prisoner's request for partial liberty because that's just the kind of guy he is. So the weekend arrives, the inmates are getting dolled up for the big show, and even Anna decides to join in on the fun. And let me tell you, she is a stunner. She walks on stage and the minister is in awe, but the fun doesn't stop there. The next day, Anna goes to Gene and asks if she can keep her job in the kitchen after her trial. And Gene, being the heartless mop he is, tells her that he can promise anything. Anna then asks Gene if he knows about her crime, and Gene, being the perfect gentleman he is, tells her that he doesn't judge and doesn't care why she's there as long as she doesn't cause any trouble. Gene is married with a young daughter, and they go to watch her perform at a school event. But, of course, the teacher has to ruin the day by informing Gene and Elise that their daughter is being bullied because they both work in a prison. Gene is furious and storms out like a very responsible adult. Anna's mom drops by for a visit and breaks the news that her friends have all abandoned her since she went to jail. Anna is not too surprised because who needs friends anyway, but things take a turn for the worse when a fellow inmate starts bullying Anna and make fun of her dear old mom. Anna snaps and lets her anger get the best of her, but lucky for her, the other inmate steps in just in time to prevent an all-out brawl. So Gene calls Anna in for a little heart-to-heart. He tells her to keep her temper in check, or else he will have to take disciplinary action, and that will be the end of her dreams of a fair trial. Anna opens up to Gene and shares that she wants to go to college and get a proper education and take care of her mom, who is all alone after her dad disappeared into the milk store. One day while chopping veggies in the kitchen, Anna has a kitchen mishap and cuts her finger. A kind cellmate comes to the rescue and tends to her wounds, but things get sort of a little awkward when the cellmate tries to plant one on Anna. Ugh, who knew jail could be so romantic? 4 months pass and it's time for Anna's trial. She decides to show up looking her best in a revealing dress because why not? But things don't go as planned and she is sentenced to 9 years in prison. Back at Versailles, Gene informs her that she is banned from the kitchen and instead offers her a job at the office, managing purchases made by the inmates. Just another day in the life of a jailbird. Anna is now getting used to her new digs, but let's face it, 9 years is a long time to be behind bars. Enter Gene, the dashing prison guard who just can't seem to shake off Anna's gaze. And then one day, as he is minding his own business, she hands him a letter. Dear Gene, I know this might sound crazy, but Movies Hunter is the best movie recap channel there is, and please subscribe to it. And also, I think I'm falling for you. Well, that's a surprise. Gene can hardly believe what he's reading, but deep down he knows he is feeling the same way. So he does what any red-blooded man would do in his situation and heads straight to the office to plant one on Anna. Ooh. But wait, what's this? Gene recalls that he has a wife and a conscience apparently, and he realizes that what they're doing is wrong. So he decides to do the right thing and organize Anna's transfer. The only problem is Anna is not having it. She has fallen hard for Gene, and the thought of being transferred breaks her heart, while the thought of being a homewrecker is making her feel so excited. During art class, Anna decides to take matters into her own hands and volunteers to pose, thinking that this will finally make Gene see that she is the one for him. But in typical drama romance fashion, things don't go according to plan. Gene gets uncomfortable and the moment is ruined. But there's more. Gene has a heart-to-heart with a bully inmate who is causing trouble for Anna. He tells her that she's going to be transferred within a week. The bully inmate warns Gene, listen her bud, you better watch out for that Anna. She's got a screw loose and she's just using you for her own benefit. But Gene, being the fearless man he is, just brushes it off and leaves, ready to make the transfer happen. He then has a change of heart though and goes back to tell Anna that the transfer just isn't happening. You know what, let me give you a little haircut, it will make you feel better. Gene offers, trying to distract Anna, but Anna isn't so easily fooled. She starts asking Gene about his wife and children, and Gene starts to get a little nervous. Why, what happened to the transfer? Anna probes. Jean, not wanting to let Anna know that he too is attracted to her, lies and says, "Oh, it just didn't work out. The other prison was, fool." Little did Jean know, his lies were just the opening Anna needed to make her move. She leans in and plants a seductive kiss on Jean's lips. Mwah! And that's all it took, folks. Jean was now completely smitten with Anna. He could not stop thinking about her, and whenever he had a chance, he was by her side. But their secret love affair wasn't exactly a secret anymore. The prison guards' hearts, started to take notice of all the time Jean and Anna were spending together. During a meeting, one guard expresses his concern, like, "Hey Jean, we've been hearing some rumors about you and Anna, about your relationship, something like that." But Jean, being the honorable man he is, denies it all. "Nah man, there's nothing going on between us. She's just helping me with some paperwork, that's all." Just when Jean thinks he's got it all under control, Anna's mother comes to visit. "Anna, darling, I met the fortune teller who told me you were seeing someone," she reveals. Anna's mom warns her about the guy she's seeing, but Anna, in her infinite wisdom, decides to tell her mother to mind her own business, because being in prison is like home sweet home and all that. Then there is Jean, who tells Anna he won't be able to see her for a while because he's gotta spend quality time with his daughter. But of course, Anna can't handle a little separation anxiety, so she starts sending seductive photos. When Jean doesn't respond, she decides he must have just been using her for physical satisfaction. Yeah, because that's the only reason a man would ever talk to a woman. But it gets better. Anna decides to swallow a bottle of pills because that's the solution to all life's problems. Of course, I'm sarcastic, don't do that. But just in the nick of time, Jean rushes to her side, hugs her, and finally confesses his undying love. How romantic, and how very much of a sad girl, sad boy shit. And of course, just when things seem to be going well, a government official shows up to ruin the party, asking about their relationship. Jean denies it, but the official informs him that the inmates are all talking about their affair. The cherry on top, Jean's wife Elise finds out about the whole mess and tells him to change job if he wants to live with them. But Jean, being the hopeless romantic and cheater that he is, can't stop thinking about Anna, because nothing says "I love you" like getting your girlfriend transferred to another prison. So Jean goes to Anna's prison and decides to light some firecrackers because why not? He probably thought it was a good way to say, "Hey Anna, I'm here and I'm still in love with you." Anna sees the fireworks and realizes that it's none other than his lover Jean. Jean calls her from her mom's phone and tells her that she's got a day pass every month, but only if her trial goes well. And Anna is like, "Oh, cool, I'm a prisoner, but now I get to spend one day a month with my prisoner boyfriend. Life is good." And then they go to a fancy hotel and have a lovey-dovey day, but let's be real here. They probably just spent the whole day counting the minutes until they had to part ways again. Later on, Jean goes to buy some smokes and a SIM card because why not add some illegal activities to this already dramatic love affair? He gives the SIM card to Anna and tells her to hide it. And then Jean goes home to face the music with Elise. She is upset about Jean's affair, and who wouldn't be? I mean, he has got it all, a loving partner, a family, and a girlfriend in prison. Elise questions Jean's love for Anna, and Jean's like, "Honey, it's complicated." Yeah, no kidding. But Elise lays it down for him and tells him that once Anna is out of prison, she will move on, but, Jean refuses to believe it. And Elise gives him some time to think things through and make a final decision, because, it's not like he's been stringing two women along for months. And finally, the climax of the soap opera. Anna tells her soulmate that she is pregnant with Jean's baby and she doesn't know what to do. Anna doesn't want to ruin Jean's life, but at the same time, she just wanted a family. Her soulmate suggests finding someone who will accept her for who she is and forget about Jean. And Anna is like, "Sure, why not? So I just need to break Jean's heart and then move on like nothing happened." Great. Now, after a much-needed break from reality, Jean goes back into his office and tries to dial up his lover Anna. But just as things were looking up, a couple of police officers come crashing in and arrest Jean for, who knows what. At the station, the interrogator tries to grill Jean about his relationship with Anna. And after a lot of hemming and hawing, Jean finally spills the beans and confesses to their steamy love affair. But there's more, my loves. The interrogator has a little suggestion for Jean. Apparently, Anna was using him the whole time for her own personal gain. Can you believe it? But our romantic hero, Jean, won't hear of it. He passionately defends their love and refuses to throw Anna under the bus. Fast forward to Anna's day off from the slammer, and Jean rushes to meet her. But what's this? Anna is giving him the cold shoulder and playing dumb like she doesn't know him. To add insult to injury, Jean spots her with another guy and feels like he has been kicked in the gut. He tries to talk to her, but she keeps up the charade and acts like their love was nothing but a fleeting memory. As if that weren't enough, Anna decides to go for an abortion and start a brand new life, leaving Jean heartbroken and alone. 1 year later, Gene finds himself in a courtroom where his lawyer reminds him to throw Anna under the bus and say she used him. But as soon as their eyes meet, Gene and Anna share a knowing smile. And that is where the movie ends, apparently, leaving us to ponder if their love is real or just a manipulation game. Well, I guess we'll never know, but this was the story of Down by Love. See you in the next Hunt by Love. Subscribe, like the video, and that's all. Bye.